Sometimes interviewers cross the line and leave celebrities no choice but to call them out and clap back at them. Like when Megan Fox got into it with an interviewer who couldn't stop flirting with her.
So now I think you're flirting with me. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Come on.
Oh, dude.
Megan Fox has spoken out about her experiences with unwanted flirting plenty of times, but that didn't stop this interviewer from sticking to his inappropriate questions.
I don't know if there's a man alive who's not in love with you in some way.
You're so silly.
You know what am I really?
You're silly.
No, I'm not silly at all.
You're a silly man in a checkered shirt.
I am not. Wow.
But that wasn't half as bad as what Jennifer Aniston had to go through when she appeared on The Late Show, where David Letterman, out of nowhere, pretended to suck on her ears. In this next interview, Natasha Lyonne and Samira Wiley just aren't sure how to respond to one of the most vague questions in interview history.
To work with each other, two beautiful ladies like you, two beautiful women, it's very hard to do this acting, especially on those days.
What do you mean? Because
we're so beautiful, or?
The interviewer then tries to clarify his question, but let's be real, it doesn't help.
Yeah, because sometimes on those days, you start to be angry, to be furious, you keep fighting on each other. On those days, it's not so hard sometimes,
Yeah, I think
especially on those days.
I think there is some like stereotypes maybe that women are very catty on set with each other.
I can't tell. There's like, I feel like it's accidentally maybe a little bit misogynistic because it's like, you're so beautiful. What's it like having to do all that acting? I can't tell if that's the question, but if it is, it's insane.
At least the actors managed to maintain their composure, but the same can't be said for Kanye West in his appearances on this radio show.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers.
Kanye was ranting about how big clothing brands didn't give him the opportunity to create more clothes.
Y'all want to invest in this school in Brazil? Y'all want to go to Africa? I'm standing up and I'm telling you, I am Warhol. I am the #1 most impactful artist of our generation. I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Now, who's gonna be the Medici family and stand up and let me create more?
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
You ain't got the answer, Sway.
Kanye.
I've been doing this more than you.
Doing what?
You ain't got.
Come on, chill out.
You
bro.
ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't spent $13 million of your own money trying to empower yourself.
Yep.
Kanye decided the best way to deal with the situation was to start screaming. But he could probably learn a thing or two from Jonah Hill, who was asked a disrespectful question about his weight.
But are you still considered the fat guy when you go to a party or anything? Because I run into that a whole lot. I'm the fat one. So are you the fat guy in Hollywood still, or is everybody like look at you and they're like, oh wow, this is great, now you're healthy?
Do you have any other questions that are smart?
And as if that wasn't rude enough, Jonah Hill had to go through a similar experience when he appeared on Jimmy Kimmel's late night show.
First of all, you smell good, which is surprising.
Why is that surprising?
I don't know. I just wouldn't think of a guy who would have a nice scent on, and
That's such a I'm gonna really work hard to not take that as a shot. You know what I mean? Because I think you would smell nice.
Despite Jimmy Kimmel insulting him as soon as the interview began, Jonah decided the best way to deal with the situation was to pay Jimmy a heartfelt compliment.
Dude, you know what? You're so nice. Like on the show, you got a little weird for a second, but when I see you in person, like in real life, you're a good dude.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And you are too.
Another actor who often deals with inappropriate questions due to her physical attributes is Christina Hendricks.
So you have been an inspiration as a full-figured woman. What is the most inspiring story that you can remember? I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's well known that Christina isn't comfortable with people making obnoxious comments about her body. But that didn't stop Craig Ferguson from making this joke during her one and only appearance on his show.
It's weird.
And all the voodoo.
Yeah. What about music? Do you like the music? Do you enjoy jazz? I love jazz.
Do you play a
I like a
musical
little
instrument?
zydeco even. I kind of do. I play a little bit of accordion.
Accordion?
I know.
That's not going to be the easiest instrument in the world for you to play, is what I'm saying. I mean, there's a lot.
It's heavy.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Oh, come on. I'm just saying.
I get it.
No.
I get it.
At least these comments weren't as sexually toned as this next interview, where the interviewer, Matt Lauer, couldn't stop mentioning Sandra Bullock's nude scene.
Did I mention you have a nude scene in this movie?
Pretty much from the time you opened your mouth. Yeah.
Sandra Bullock. Come back more often.
No, not after this interview.
You'll totally understand why she doesn't want to come back on The Proposal once you see how the interview started.
It's been 2 years since you've been here.
Has it?
It has been. March, I think 15th, the Ides
Are you
of March.
counting?
I am. It's been hard.
Sad.
It's been hard. The major thing that's changed since you were here last?
Yes.
I have now seen you naked.
And I'm so sorry about that.
I have seen you naked.
Were you able to sleep afterwards? Why are you looking down?
It's now my screensaver.
Why did you look down
I
when
was
you said
looking at
that?
my notes.
Not your notes are
No,
not over here.
They were right there.
That would be this.
They
You
were
went
right
like that.
there. I didn't go like this. I went like this.
I'm just saying.
The same creepy interviewer also confronted Anna Hathaway on a very sensitive topic. When she got out of the car to attend a premiere, one of the photographers got really low to the ground and snapped a picture of her crotch. Much like last time, Matt Lauer didn't waste any time and opened the interview like this.
Anne Hathaway, good morning. Nice to see you.
Morning, Matt.
Seen a lot of you lately.
Sorry about that.
You were.
I'd be happy to stay home, but the film.
Let's just get it out of the way. You had a little wardrobe malfunction the other night. What's the lesson learned from something like that, other than that you keep smiling, which you always do?
Well, it was obviously an unfortunate incident.
Yeah.
I think it kind of made me sad on two accounts. One was that I was very sad that we live in an age when someone takes a picture of another person in a vulnerable moment and rather than delete it and do the decent thing, sells it. And I'm sorry that we live in a culture that commodifies sexuality of unwilling participants, which brings us back to Les Mis, because that's what my character is. She is someone who is forced to sell sex to benefit her child because she has nothing and there's no social safety net. And so let's get back to Les Mis.
One of the most creative turns of a question I have ever heard, and I'm going to take it at that. That's fine.
At least Anna Hathaway knew how to keep her composure. However, this can't be said about Paris Hilton, who during this interview with ABC News decided she had had enough of the belittling questions.
Do you worry at times that the people who have followed in your footsteps, like Kim Kardashian, are overshadowing you?
No, not at all.
There's been some talk about the ratings in the show being low. Has that upset you?
No.
Do you ever worry about your moment having passed? You want to wrap up?
When I was curious about one thing going back to...
Another celebrity who wasn't happy with the line of questioning was Taylor Swift, when Ellen DeGeneres kept pushing her to share more about her private love life.
All right, let's talk about your #1 hit, we are never, ever, 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 ever gonna get back together. Who's that about?
Despite Taylor making it clear she did not want to give an answer to the question, Ellen decided she could try and get the answer by playing a fun game.
Here's what I'll do. You don't have to say. I'm going to show pictures. Here's a bell, and you ring it when.
Oh my God.
All right. We'll show pictures.
I don't know if I'm going to do this.
Yeah, you will.
This is the one thing that I have. It's like the one shred of dignity that I have is I know that.
What do you mean one shred of dignity? You're just filled with dignity.
But people go and make guesses about it, and the only thing that I have is like that one card.
Ring it on 3 different guys. We'll narrow it down. So ring it 3 different times.
During the game, Taylor awkwardly held onto the bell without any intention to ring it.
Hold it like you're gonna ring it at some point.
I don't know what I'm...
You're supposed to ring
But I don't want to. I don't want to.
All right, I'll ring.
Because they'll send me angry emails and I don't want to get them.
I'll hold it for you.
This wasn't the only time Ellen didn't respect personal boundaries, because when Channing Tatum came onto her show, Ellen had another surprise in store.
But you're not scared of anything else. Are you scared of...
Yes, I actually am. In real life.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yes, in real life, I'm terrified of porcelain dolls.
I heard that.
I just think they're freaky. I just think they're really super freaky. They have like real eyes and they look real, and I just imagine when I walk by them, their heads turn with you the whole time.
And after the American actor poured his heart out, Ellen decided to rub Channing's fear in his face. Literally.
I'm just asking because
come on.
Just hold one.
My wife's mother, I'm not holding
Just
either one of
hold
those.
one.
No. My wife, come on, stop, man.
I love you.
In this 2012 interview, the interviewer couldn't meet Rihanna's expectations.
Things are clearly going brilliantly in your career. I just wondered if you are as happy in your private life, and will we be seeing a certain Mr. Ashton Kutcher perhaps making a trip over here?
Wow, how disappointing was that question?
Should we move on to another one?
Absolutely.
I think there was a question. We've got to move on. I think
I'm
there's a
happy
question.
and I'm single, if that's what you were really asking.
Rihanna clearly isn't into the love life related questions. However, she still had to answer the same question 2 years later.
Pardon? What are you looking for in a man now to wear this clothes?
I'm not looking for a man. Let's start there.
Even though we can all understand why Rihanna responded the way she did, these questions are not anywhere as unexpected compared to when the host of this interview asked Scarlett Johansson if she was wearing underwear during the filming of The Avengers.
Now, were you able to wear undergarments?
You're like the fifth person that's asked me that.
Because
What is going on? Since when did people start asking each other about in interviews about their underwear?
No, because it is such a skin tight. Here's
I'll
why.
leave it up to your imagination.
Oh, see?
Okay?
Is that...
Whatever you feel like I should be wearing or not wearing under that costume.
This is not a...
Is what I...
Is it inappropriate?
To ask somebody what kind of underpants they wear?
I didn't ask you what kind.
When Cara Delevingne appeared in an interview to promote a new film, the interviewers perhaps read into the situation a bit too much.
Now, with that said, I saw you in London talking a couple weeks ago on TV, and you seemed a lot more excited about it than you do right now. Are you just exhausted?
No. I mean, I'm still very excited. The premiere was last night. It was an emotional night. It felt like the end of an era, but I'm not any less excited than I was a couple of weeks ago.
To make things worse, another host said she also felt that Cara Delevingne was annoyed.
You do seem a bit irritated. Perhaps it's just us.
Yeah, I think it's just you.
I think it probably is us. Well, then on that note...
We figured as much.
We'll let you go then. How about that? We'll let you go take a little nap, maybe get a Red Bull. How about that?
Cara Delevingne, thank you so much.
Cara Delevingne managed to keep her cool, but that wasn't the case in this interview with Selena Gomez.
All slows down for me. I'm probably going to devote most of my life to philanthropy.
Okay, that's good for me.
Wow, thank you. She's asking me questions, like good ones, and then she didn't even pay attention to what I was saying.
When Tom Hardy was asked what it's like to be a Skype father, suggesting he wasn't present in his kids' lives, Tom didn't hold back and shut him down with a brutally honest answer.
As a Skype father, you coined that.
What are you on about, man?
Skype father. Is it difficult in Hollywood to be an actor? To be an actor in Hollywood.
Thanks for your presence. They're awesome. You need to work on those, buddy.
Lisa, nice
Hello,
to meet
how you doing,
you.
right?
How are you?
This wasn't the only stupid question he had to deal with, as this next question might have been even weirder.
I have a question for Tom Hardy. Tom, I'll preface my remarks by saying that I have 5 sisters, a wife, a daughter, and a mother, so I know what it's like to be outgunned by estrogen. But I just wanted to ask you, as you were reading the script, did you ever think, why are all these women in here? I thought this was supposed to be a man's movie.
No. Not for 1 minute.
Ariana Grande clearly didn't appreciate these interviewers giving her a hard ultimatum.
If you could use makeup or your phone one last time, which one would you pick? Your makeup or your phone?
Is this what you think girls have trouble choosing between?
Yeah. Can you really go anywhere without your cell phone?
Yes.
How long can you go without looking at Twitter?
Many hours.
Hours.
Many hours.
I don't believe it.
Absolutely.
Ariana didn't really push back, but that can't be said about Bill Burr in this interview.
And this is Bill Burr. That's your question? I'm just saying who you are. Oh, yeah, all right. I don't like you creep me out with that big microphone and that country western shirt. Well, here's the deal. Bill's a comedian. He's at the Punchline. He's in town, and you're a funny guy. You've got these routines in your head, so I figure I'll toss you a mic and you go. And I'm going to do stand-up in front of 9 people in a radio station? No, I'm not doing that. Honestly. Can I take the mic? Sure. Now, that's the number one thing you don't do. As I learned that in broadcasting school, you never give up the microphone. See, now I have the power.
Ben Affleck is another celebrity who doesn't shy away from taking control during an interview. When he appeared on Real Time with Bill Maher, he quickly shut down the dehumanizing remarks being made about Arabs.
It wasn't the debate, actually. It was this conversation he had. There was this woman who said to McCain, Obama is an Arab. And he said, no, ma'am, he's not an Arab. He's a good man.
Right.
What if I said to you, what if somebody said, I heard he's a Jew, and I said, no, he's not a Jew, he's all right.
Right.
Arab and good person are not antithetical to one another.
That was
this.
But some celebrities don't respond well to the increased pressure. Like John Mayer after TMZ stopped him on the street to ask him about his recent separation from Jennifer Aniston in 2011.
Writing. What's the rumor? What's the rumor? As you hear it, what are you hearing? Why? There's no lying, there's no cheating, there's no nothing. And you know, if you guys are gonna run stuff and run every lie under the sun, have somebody stand up for somebody. You're either a cheater or you break up. And I'm not the first. I just don't want to be followed around New York City like an animal.
Another interviewer proceeded to ask about John's current relationship status, which was the worst question to ask so soon after his breakup with Jennifer.
Are you dating anyone else? Why would you ask me that question? I'm being as honest as I can possibly be. And you're asking questions that completely belie what I'm saying. And I just feel like spending $1 million right now to put a mirror in every Us Weekly so that when you're reading about it, you go like, oh, that was me too, like 2 years ago. That was me a year ago. It's the most normal thing I can possibly tell you. Write all you want to write. I'm sorry. But I just feel like I don't care. I just don't want people to get trashed.
Moments later, John walked away from the paparazzi, and TMZ was left with more questions than answers. But this next interviewer was left speechless after being shut down by comedian Joan Rivers for joking about her daughter.
He has a tractor and he smashes up old cars just to get attention out of him.
Did you ever run up to someone and say, hey, how did you get so rich? And the woman said, by riding on my mom's coattails, and you said, Melissa, this is my show.
I don't think so. And I think we're going to end the interview right now. Don't get so smart.
We'll apologize for Joan's language right there at the end. You're just trying to be funny with her, and I had no idea that she would do that. We apologize for that this morning, right?
It was pretty clear that the interviewer didn't mean any harm, but it's hard to excuse this next creep who randomly posed the weirdest question imaginable to his female interviewee.
All right, and if we could stop for a second, I want to say to you, you have a very cute, soft, like a girly voice.
Thank you.
A lot of people say the reason people have girly voices is something bad happened to them at that age. Were you touched at an early age, or were you fine?
That's the creepiest question I've ever heard, and no, but it's so inappropriate, it's not even funny.
Well, I had a girlfriend once that talked like that, and it turned out 6 years old. It was horrible.
Ew, I don't want to talk about this.
That was almost hard to watch. This next female interviewer wasn't much better, as she kept trying to get the female cast of Neighbors 2 to say some pretty inappropriate things about their co-star Zac Efron in this 2016 interview.
Ladies, so I want to know all about Zac Efron. So who here had a crush on Zac Efron before shooting this movie? Be honest. No. What were those days of shooting like for you guys?
The tailgate?
Yes. Being up close and personal with all of that.
Oh, are we talking about Zac dancing?
I don't know. I mean, I think the whole thing is it's just a fun part of the movie, and I think, you know, it kind of adds to such a different area in which we were trying to preach, is a sense that, you know, usually that's the women being objectified, and so it's funny to see a guy in that position. Yeah.
The interviewer refused to talk about anything but the provocative aspects of the movie, so the actresses had to let her know that the interview was taking a weird turn.
Yeah, you guys played it much cooler than I think I would have if I had been that day.
I mean, they're just abs.
Yeah, I never cared.
I think the best thing about Zac is that he's really kind. He's kind.
He's so
and
kind.
Funny. I would love if someone asked about Zac's personality.
Yeah, no one ever does.
See, that's why I'm like,
good look.
At least they were able to laugh it off. But T.I. didn't find it funny when young Jock tried to press him about his divorce from his wife, Tiny, in this 2017 interview.
What the hell do you have to say, John? Listen, man. What you say? Look, I love you, man. What you say? I don't want to see you and Tiny split, man.
That ain't your business, man.
You right, it ain't, but we on L right now, and people want to know.
I know we on L, and I'm telling you on that, it ain't your business, man.
Okay, well, I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all heard it up. It ain't y'all business.
One of the co-hosts then chimed in to also express her displeasure at the separation, and T.I. again had to remind them that it was a personal matter.
So quit listening.
But we love them so much.
Back up like the Buckheads and spin around like the OJs. You understand that? You heard what the man said? It ain't your business.
I actually don't understand that.
Man,
Okay, who are those?
It ain't your business. You mind your fuzzy headband. Leave me alone.
At the end of the day, there was no bad blood between T.I. and the cast. But Winona Ryder wasn't as nice about a disrespectful question she received during her 2019 joint interview with her Stranger Things co-star David Harbour.
How big is David Harbour? What is up with wire and size? Like,
we just discussed
literally
this. Like
crazy.
It's just one word. It's two. T-O-O. He's too big.
Stop with that. Seriously. Stop. I mean it.
Okay.
Winona wasn't the only celebrity to jump to their co-star's defense. During a 2011 conference for the movie Friends with Benefits, Mila Kunis wasn't happy with a reporter who insinuated that Justin Timberlake's transition in films was unusual.
Зачем они регулируют? Зачем участвовать в кино? Ну мало что. Зачем ему нужно делать кино? А что вы хотите, чтобы он делал? Ну что, он, если он хочет делать, и он может, почему нет? Почему ты здесь?
Much like Mila, actress Dakota Johnson got defensive herself when Ellen DeGeneres falsely accused her in front of their TV audience of not inviting her to her recent birthday party.
You turned 30.
I did.
And how was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited. Last time I was on the show, last year, you gave me a bunch of about not inviting you, but I didn't even know you wanted to be invited.
Yeah.
But I did invite you and you didn't come. So.
This time you invited me?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How do you know? I don't think so.
Ask everybody.
Dakota didn't let the topic go until Ellen admitted that she was invited and just didn't come.
I was invited?
Right.
Why didn't I go?
I don't know.
Was it? Oh yeah, I had that thing. It was probably in Malibu. That's too far for me to go to. No, I think I do remember I was invited. Thank you. No, but I really didn't remember that until just now.
Ellen probably should have thought a little more before making an assumption. We could say the same for this next interviewer, who should have known how inappropriate his comments were towards Sandra Bullock in this 2009 Today Show, where they were discussing her new movie, The Proposal.
The major thing that's changed since you were here last?
Yes.
I have now seen you naked.
And I'm so sorry about that.
I have seen you naked.
Were you able to sleep afterwards?
Why
are you looking down?
It's now my screensaver. Did I mention you have a scene in this movie?
Pretty much from the time you opened your mouth. Yeah.
Sandra Bullock, come back more often.
No, not after this interview.
That interview was almost as hard to watch as Matthew McConaughey's interview on The View, where host Joy Behar began making unwanted allegations about both Matthew and his close friend, tennis player Novak Djokovic.
Anyway, yeah, I was happy to be in his box. Got to sit behind his parents, which was really awesome to see them when he brings them up and where they started.
I believe
an anti-vaxxer?
I believe so, yeah. Just so you know.
Way to bring it down, Joy. I'm just kidding.
Her co-hosts pushed past the question and tried to move on with the conversation, but Joy once again butted in with baseless accusations about Matthew's beliefs.
Do you think political office is in your future? Can you see that?
If it's where I would deem myself to be most useful,
Yeah.
yes.
Do you think you would get elected in Texas being anti-gun?
One thing about if me in politics is to give you a direct statement right there is playing a game that I'm not interested in playing. To give you a direct statement right there.
At least Matthew didn't flip out as bad as Jonah Hill in this 2007 interview, where the interviewer took several unnecessary and inappropriate shots at the movie and Jonah's appearance.
Jonah, do you think it's important to be unattractive to be funny? Can skinny people be funny?
I don't think it has to do with like anything besides just being funny and like being yourself, you know? Like
What will you do when your career's over? in a couple of months.
What the man? You know, are you deliberately trying to do this to like get a rise out? Is this English dry wit, or are you just I don't understand. Can you just ask a normal question?
Despite their visible irritation, the interviewer didn't let up on the annoying jokes, eventually causing Jonah to completely flip out and walk off set.
I think we've got off on the wrong foot here. I just wanted to sort of like ask, you know, let's keep the questions light. Can skinny people really be funny? Because Jonah is clearly more funny than you in the film, Michael.
You know, we've done 20 interviews today, and I feel like you're personally just coming after me, and I just feel like I don't know what, I'm just kind of not really in the mood to do this. We don't need this interview. We've done 20 interviews. It's not fun.
Sorry.
You know how badly I want to No, you think it's funny. You think this is all a big f***ing joke, but this is we're here. We don't need to be here. We're here to try and sell the movie. We're not here to be your friend. Don't laugh like you're my friend, okay? I would f***ing knock your teeth out of your dumb f***ing English skull. If Michael, hey, you know, no, I don't f***ing calm me down, dude. We do this all day. I'm tired. I want to go home. I have other shit I want to do too. So I'll f***ing go over there and rip your f***ing hair out of your head if you don't shut up. My dream right now is to get out of this chair and f***ing knock your teeth out of your head.
Okay, well,
No, f*** you. No, f*** you. Jonah.
Australian reporter Peter Overton almost got the same treatment after he inquired too deeply into the intimate details of Tom Cruise's recent divorce from Nicole Kidman.
Was Nicole the love of your life?
What do you mean, Peter?
You were married for 10 years.
Listen, we raised children.
And do you have a relationship where you talk, it's a parenting relationship, and talk professionally about each other's work?
Listen, here's the thing, Peter. Yeah. You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line, you know you are.
But Peter didn't get as personal as Jerry Penacoli tried to in this 2012 interview with Anne Hathaway following the release of the movie Dark Knight Rises.
I'm so unbelievably happy to be a part of it.
You are in phenomenal shape.
Thank you.
You're very
gracious.
You're always in great shape, but you had to make sure you were in perfect shape for this one, didn't you? What is the feline fitness regime?
A lot. It's all the boring stuff that no one ever wants to do.
Jerry continued to ask questions almost exclusively about Anne's body until she was forced to poke fun at his appearance just to get him to stop.
Any particular workout?
Are you trying to lose weight?
Well,
what's the deal, man? You look great.
No.
No, seriously. We have to talk about this. What do you want? Are you trying to fit into a cat suit?
I might be.
You are? Oh, okay.
Some celebrities are better than others at keeping their composure, but director Quentin Tarantino is not one of them. Judging by his 2013 interview with Channel 4, where the interviewer insinuated that the violence in his movie Django could have real-world consequences.
But why are you so sure that there's no link between enjoying movie violence and enjoying real violence?
I'm going to tell you why I'm so sure. Do not ask me a question like that. I'm not biting. I refuse your question.
Why?
Because I refuse your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master. You can't make me dance to your tune. I'm not a monkey.
I can't make you answer anything. I'm asking you interesting questions.
And I'm saying I refuse.
Okay, well, no, I was just asking you why. That's fine.
The reporter tried to move on with the interview, but it was clear that there was no bringing Quentin back from his now sour mood.
But you see, Jamie Foxx has said we can't turn our back and say that violence in films.
Well, then you should talk to Jamie Foxx.
Then
you should talk to Jamie Foxx about that. And I think he's actually here, so you can.
I'd love to, but I mean, it's interesting that you have a different view, and I'm just trying to explore that.
Yeah, and I don't want to, because I'm here to sell my movie. This is a commercial for the movie. Make no mistake.
Well, you
So
you don't want to talk about anything serious?
I don't want to talk about what you want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the implications of violence. I haven't wanted. Because the reason I don't want to talk about it is I've said everything I have to say about it. If anyone cares what I have to say about it, they can Google me and they can look for 20 years what I have to say about it. I haven't changed my opinion one iota.
No, but you haven't fleshed it out.
It's not my job to flesh it out.
No, it's my job to try and ask you to.
And I'm shutting your butt down.
And that's entirely your. That's entirely
this
your.
This is a commercial from my movie.